Today on the Travel Magazine, we'll visit the Veneto region of Italy and its glorious capital, Venice. Dozens of bridges connect more than 100 islands in this ancient city. As famous for its Gothic and Baroque architecture as it is for its gondolas. A ride along the Grand Canal is enough to bring out the romantic in anyone, as is the view from St. Mark's Square. One of the few cities in the world that can be described as one of the most beautiful or unique is without any doubt Venice. St. Mark's Square was aptly named by Napoleon Bonaparte as the drawing room of Europe. Join us as we explore its many canals and bridges. Visit the island of Murano, famous for its glassblowing, and the island of Burano, well known for its lace making. Hi, I'm Jake de Boer.
And I'm Mieke de Boer. Welcome to Venice, the floating city with its history, romance, gondolas and gondoliers.
Come andiamo, bene?
Venice is located in northeast Italy, about 184 kilometers east of Milan. Nearly 4 kilometers long and up to 70 meters wide, the Grand Canal sweeps through the heart of Venice, while a complex series of smaller canali connects the rest of the city. Thanks to the many bridges over these waterways, it is easy to travel around Venice on foot, though you'll need a map to navigate the alleyways. Popular among tourists are the 3 large bridges that span the Grand Canal, including the beautiful Bridge of Sighs and, famous for its excellent interior market, the Rialto Bridge. Founded in 1421 AD, Venice is an architectural wonderland, and some of its palazzi date back to the 13th century. Also important to the city's history are the handmade gondolas, which first appeared in the 11th century and were once essential for the transportation of goods. Today, gondolas are used mainly for pleasure, and few tourists are able to resist the allure of a ride in one of these unusual boats.
Diana, we are here in the heart of Venice.
Yes, actually, we are in St. Mark's Square, which is the center of political and religious life of Venice, and it has always been like that since the beginning of the Republic of Venice.
Like the pigeons, tourists flock to St. Mark's Square by the thousands each year. The huge granite columns of San Marco and San Teodoro mark the main entrance to Venice when it could only be reached by sea. St. Mark's Campanile houses 5 bells that ring on the hour. From the top, visitors can enjoy a spectacular view of the city, the lagoon, and sometimes even the Alps. With its pink marble perched on stone arcades, supported by columns below, Doge's Palace is a masterpiece of Gothic architecture. The most famous landmark in St. Mark's Square is the Basilica San Marco. Crowned with 5 domes, it is the 3rd church to stand on this site. Statues, carvings, and mosaics all complete the ornate exterior of the basilica, which once served as the Doge's private chapel. Inside the basilica, a 13th century mosaic of Christ ascending decorates the enormous central dome. Built in the 11th century and embellished for 600 years with gorgeous mosaics, marble and carvings, the interior of the church more than delivers on the promise of this stunning exterior.
Here must be a lot of pigeons here.
Yes, there are a lot, even too many pigeons. And this is also sometimes a problem for Venice, because they waste our monuments, you know, sometimes. And fortunately, in winter time, there are not so many, but in summertime, yes, too many.
Yeah. So, but they are part of the square.
Of course, they are a part of the square, and they are, well, actually, they are also an attraction for every single tourist coming here.
This is the main square, and everybody comes here. I hear some beautiful music there.
Yes, we have beautiful cafes, very important, very famous cafes where very famous people used to stay, like Hemingway, like Lord Byron in the Café Florian, for instance.
And
at night,
the Boers.
And the Boers, of course.
Florian's is one of more than 24 cafes on St. Mark's Square. The music, food and drink combine to create a convivial atmosphere among patrons. Sit down, read a book, order a glass of wine, relax and listen to the orchestra when you're ready for a break from the exhilarating sights of Venice. Or perhaps when you get tired of chasing the pigeons in the square. When we come back, we will learn how to make a gondola. Visit the islands of Murano and Burano. And we'll enjoy a romantic gondola ride.
We will be back with more of Travel Magazine 2000 just after this, so stay with us.
Welcome back to Venice, the archipelago that rose from humble beginnings to rule in the 13th century. Today, the city looks much like it did 200 years ago, with a few more tourists. More than 12 million people make the trek to Venice each year, where artists from the Veneto region are happy to provide them with souvenirs of their favorite sites. This artist is painting Santa Maria della Salute, one of the most imposing architectural landmarks of Venice. The Baroque church stands at the entrance of the Grand Canal and was built in thanksgiving for the deliverance of the city from the plague of 1630. After admiring the artwork on the exterior, be sure to venture inside to see dramatic Venetian art. Nearby is the Sea Customs Post, built in the late 17th century and most notable for its weather vane, the figure of Fortuna atop a brilliant golden ball fortified by two bronze atlases. Gondolas are not the only boats you'll see in Venice. All types of goods are transported via the waterways, including the means to both build a fire and to put one out. While the vaporetta is an efficient way to travel in Venice, far more pleasurable is a romantic tour for two in a gondola, complete with serenade.
O sole mio, stai in
Beautiful.
Excellent.
And how many of the gondolas are still left here?
Oh, there's a 400 gondola
Oh,
in Venice.
in Venice.
These are the last gondola because the place where we can make the gondola now are closing. There's only one or two parts that we can do also gondola.
36 feet long and less than 5 feet wide, gondolas ride high in the water. Despite rowing on the right side only, gondoliers are able to maintain a true course due to the curved shape of the hull. Squarey, where gondolas are built, are now rare and turn out only 3 or 4 new vessels per year. Dampened wood is heated with burning lagoon cane and carefully shaped by the craftsman. 9 different types of wood, including oak, mahogany and cherry are used, and 280 pieces are required in the construction of a gondola. Once the curve of the hull has been adjusted to suit the height and weight of the oarsman, final touches are added, including detailed and decorative carvings chiseled by a skillful craftsman. Finally, to protect the gondola, no fewer than 7 coats of black lacquer are painstakingly applied, which also gives the boat its lovely sheen. The iron ferrule decorates the prow. Its metal teeth represent the 6 sestieri of Venice beneath a doge's cap. Impeccable artistry.
Diane, tell me, what are we going to have?
Well, we are going to have a wonderful pizza. You probably know that in Italy, pizza is very famous. And, well, it's the most famous Italian food all around the world, is well known. And a pizza with tomato and mozzarella cheese is a typical margherita pizza. This was the first pizza invented by Neapolitans in Italy.
Here's one for you.
Wonderful. That
There we
looks
go.
excellent. Is that all for me?
Yeah, I think so.
In Italy, you get a big pizza like that for one individual?
Very nice.
There is somebody else that's going to have it too. So it depends how hungry you are.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good appetite.
Okay, merci.
So do we eat it with
Bon
our
appetit. No, you cut it.
You have to cut it, yes.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Delizioso. When we come back, we'll visit a glass factory on the island of Murano, renowned for its extraordinary glassworks. Then, we'll travel further north to Murano and learn all about lace. You know, that's the famous Rialto Bridge we just passed, huh?
Yes. We will be back with the beautiful Venice just after this, so stay with us.
Welcome back to Venice, where we're heading by boat into the lagoon to explore 2 islands. Our first stop is Murano, famous for its glass. Just less than 2 kilometers north of Venice, it is the largest of the islands.
Welcome to Murano. How are you? Good morning.
So this is where you make all the glass?
That's right. Now I'm going to show you the factory side, so you get a better idea of everything made on the island.
Wonderful.
You know, Jake, when people visit Venice, they should really include a glass factory because this is where you see real glass.
Look at this. Wow, feel the weight making.
This is real crystal made out of one piece, and this is real gold.
Can you imagine this for a
Your
wine
red
glass?
wine?
Can you imagine how beautiful it will look and how it will taste? It's an incredible
Oh, you
sight.
know, do you feel how heavy this is?
What is it?
This is where you put your wine in or your liqueur. Everything.
Excellent.
Can you imagine? This is one piece of crystal.
So you know what? Let's do a tour of the factory and see what there is, and we'll leave our wallet at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Glassblowing took root in Venice in the early 11th century and has been a tradition on Murano since the late 13th century. The glassblower starts by collecting molten glass on the red-hot end of a hollow tube. After the glass is blown and rotated, pincers are introduced to widen the hollow of the glass, and the shaping process begins. The artisan may choose to manipulate the lip into an interesting design. Molten glass can be used to apply stems, handles, or decorations, depending on the object being crafted. By the end of the 15th century, most of the typically Venetian glassmaking techniques had already been developed and perfected. Enameling and gilding, calcedonio, filigrana, and millefiorio, and a perfectly clear cristallo were all used to create glass of great visual variety. In the 19th century, chemists working for the major glass houses dramatically extended the range of colors available, the result of which we see today. Why is glass blowing on this island?
Well, the story says that Marco Polo brought the secret of glassmaking in Venice very, very, very long time ago. And then during the 14th century, the Doge of Venice, was like a king, transferred all the glass factories on the island of Murano, and it developed here.
Why?
Because they had burnings in Venice, so it was very dangerous. So the Doge moved the factories of Murano. Doge was very jealous. He didn't let glass blowers going outside of the island. So it developed on the island until today, and it's going to be here for a long time.
Now, what you make here, do you also find that in downtown Venice? Do you have your own stores in Venice?
No, we have our showrooms. In here, you will find, let's say, the upper selection, the cream of the production of Murano. You know, in Murano, we make two different types of production. There's the commercial, and there are the work of art. Okay, commercial, you can find not only in Venice, but you can find in New York, in Canada, in Germany, in Europe. People coming here, they don't want to see the same thing they can find all over the world. They prefer to see pieces which are really outstanding. And this is the reason of our showrooms. So because we are in the position to present works which are really work of art.
So people who come to Venice to shop for glassware should not just stay in Venice, but if they really want to come, should come to the island of Murano.
First of all, also to see how glass is made, because before walking the showrooms, we take those people we take in the factory, and they get an idea how those figures comes out.
Now, I see some magnificent chandeliers here. What about this? I think it is so magnificent.
You've got pretty good taste, you've got also pretty expensive taste. This is a reproduction of the famous chandelier called Rezzonico. Rezzonico is the name of the Venetian palace facing the Grand Canal, where they had the first chandelier in that particular style, where the arms are composed by many, many, many pieces. They are not a single piece, but many pieces, one inside in the other. It's in smoked color, has a gold decoration.
Will you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Don't show it to me.
I will not.
Okay. Whether you wish to enjoy some red wine in a glass or simply admire a glass for art's sake, it would be difficult to leave the island of Murano without parting with a few lira.
Now, Jake, this is a place to buy your glassware at.
Beautiful.
And what we've bought is very nice.
We once again head north by boat. 6 miles from Venice lies the beautiful island of Murano. Like the other islands in the lagoon, Murano has probably been inhabited since Roman times. well before the mainland cities were established during the 6th century. But this picturesque island looks nothing like her sisters in the lagoon. Instead of ornate palaces, brightly painted 1- or 2-story houses line the streets. Many of Burano's residents go about their daily lives oblivious to tourists. Even the police appear to be relaxed. Toward the center of the island, the Rio de Mezzo and Via Galuppi are crowded with shops selling lace.
Tell me, this island is famous for the lace.
For the needle lace.
The needle.
Venetian lace is done by one needle and thread.
And it goes back for centuries.
Oh yes, because we have, we have a beautiful lace that was done in 1600, and they are very beautiful. So it must have begun much earlier to do something like that one in the 16th century.
In fact, as early as the 15th century, women were making lace in the convents. This 18th century wedding gown would have made any bride beautiful. Beautiful brides are often seen in Venice and the Veneto region. Not surprisingly, a popular destination for honeymooners. After all, what could be more romantic than a gondola ride?
Jake, Venice is an exciting and romantic city.
I have to tell you, I really enjoyed it. And I hope you did too, but we're out of time. For the Travel Magazine, I'm Jake de Boer.
And I'm Mieke de Boer, and enjoy yourself as you travel the world.